How do you even begin to rebuild your life when everything you thought was stable turns out to be a lie? That question haunted me the night I discovered my wife of 6 years was cheating on me. Her name was Dana, and we had what I thought was a strong, ordinary, happy marriage, built on shared interests, weekend getaways, Friday night dinners, and dreams of one day starting a family. We met in college, dated for years, then got married in a small ceremony surrounded by friends and family. She was charming, witty, and brilliant, a financial consultant who prided herself on control and order. I, on the other hand, was more of the laid-back creative type, working as a freelance video editor with a home office and a lot more flexibility. In hindsight, maybe the imbalance in our schedule should have been a red flag, but I trusted her implicitly. She had always been the dependable one, or so I thought. The signs were subtle at first. She became more distant, claimed she was exhausted more often, and began working late several nights a week. I chalked it up to stress, told myself not to be paranoid, but there were nights I'd fall asleep alone, the bed cold beside me, wondering what the hell was happening to us. The pivotal moment came by accident. One Friday evening, she said she had to fly out of state for a client emergency, something about a firm in Chicago needing her on site over the weekend. That wasn't unusual in her line of work, so I didn't question it. But later that night, I got a notification on our shared laptop that she had forgotten to log out of her iMessage. The message preview read, "Can't wait to feel your hands on me again. Hotels booked." I froze. My pulse pounded in my ears. My brain screamed, "No, no, no, no," but my gut already knew the truth. I opened the laptop and read through the thread. She had been seeing someone for at least 4 months. His name was Max, some sleazy-looking entrepreneur with a bunch of shirtless Instagram selfies and a business that involved crypto and questionable seminars. The messages were disgusting, the kinds of things no husband should ever have to read. She called him babe, told him she loved him, talked about me like I was just some clueless roommate. I sat there in that dim room, her words burning into my memory, and knew 2 things. 1, that my marriage was over, and 2, that I wasn't going to let this end with me just walking away quietly. Dana didn't know what kind of man I was when I was truly pushed. I didn't explode. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I started gathering information. If she could play this game behind my back, then I would play one right under her nose. I took screenshots, backups, copied messages, downloaded every conversation, and saved everything to a hidden drive. I pretended nothing was wrong. I told her to take the Chicago trip, kissed her on the forehead, and even packed her suitcase. While she was gone, I started phase 1, information and infiltration. I contacted a private investigator I knew through a friend, someone who specialized in discreet surveillance. Within a week, I had a photographic proof of her meeting Max at a hotel, checking in together, and even kissing in the parking lot. I made it a point to document everything meticulously. Why? Because Dana came from money, and her father was a lawyer. If this was going to end in divorce, I needed leverage. I opened a new bank account and slowly began diverting funds. Not a lot at once, just enough to create a financial cushion. I also visited a lawyer. My lawyer, unlike Dana's high-powered family pit bulls, was a quiet, methodical woman named Evelyn, who didn't smile much but who had the kind of ruthless attention to detail I needed. Evelyn advised me to play along a little longer, to not tip Dana off until all the financials, the asset division, and the strategy were in place. Meanwhile, I started building my emotional case, talking to mutual friends, subtly pointing out how distant Dana had become, making myself look like the supportive husband trying to hold a struggling marriage together. I wasn't just laying a legal trap. I was framing the entire social narrative for what was coming. Then came phase 2, the confrontation. Not in private. No, that would have been too merciful. I waited for our anniversary dinner, an elaborate reservation Dana had suggested, likely to keep appearances up. I had everything ready. The restaurant was quiet, elegant, the kind of place where people whispered more than talked. Halfway through the meal, I handed her an envelope. She looked confused, opened it, and stared at the neatly printed screenshots. Her face went pale. I leaned in and said, "I know everything. I've known for weeks. Don't cause a scene. Just listen." She looked around, then back at me, and for the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. Not guilt, not remorse, just fear of being exposed. She tried to stammer out an excuse, but I cut her off. "Save it." I've already filed. You'll be served by Monday. This is your chance to decide whether you want this to go public or quietly. I watched her facade crumble like glass. The confidence, the arrogance, gone. She whispered, "You wouldn't." I smiled. "Try me." The next few weeks were chaos. She begged, threatened, cried, tried to turn her family against me, but the evidence spoke for itself. Her father tried to strong-arm me in mediation, but Evelyn had come prepared. When he saw the files, the message logs, and the hotel receipts, he backed down. In the end, Dana got nothing close to what she expected. I kept the house, I kept our dog. She walked away with her clothes, some furniture, and a reputation that was quietly but thoroughly shredded in our social circle. But I wasn't done. Max, the crypto clown, was next. He thought he got away clean, but he had no idea who he'd messed with. I found out he ran investment seminars that danced on the edge of legality, using testimonials and fake reviews to lure in suckers. I sent a detailed dossier to the SEC, complete with videos, audio from his seminars, and testimonies from a couple of attendees who were already pissed off. A month later, his website vanished. His Instagram went dark. Word got out that he was under investigation. Dana, from what I heard, tried to distance herself, but by then her reputation was toast. She moved to another city. Last I heard, she was working some mid-level job with no real influence, a far cry from the career trajectory she was on. As for me, I took time off, traveled with my dog, healed. Then I met someone new, not right away, but slowly, carefully. Her name is Lila. She's kind, grounded, and nothing like Dana. She knows everything about what happened and respects the hell out of the fact that I didn't just explode, I rebuilt. This wasn't just revenge, this was reclamation. A reminder that when someone burns your life down, you can either cry in the ashes or build something stronger from the ruins. I chose the latter.